presidential election has come to a dramatic close. The surprise victor was Republican nominee Donald Trump, who stunned the world by defeating the favorite Democrat Hillary Clinton. Trump's win brings to an end 8 years of Democratic rule under Barack Obama in the United States and sets the country on a new path.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division. Have to get together. I pledge to every citizen of our land that I will be president for all Americans. And this is so important to me.
Well, Trump won with 278 electoral votes after 46 out of 50 states declared their results. In a nail-biting contest, Trump was able to pull a winning margin in many of the crucial swing states, including Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina, and snatched previously Democrat-leaning states like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Trump did make a speech in front of a boisterous crowd of cheering supporters at his election night rally in Manhattan. You just heard a little snippet from there earlier on. Well, let's bring you some analysis of those election results. Let's go to the White House where Jessica Stern is standing by from Washington, D.C. Jessica, no doubt the win by Donald Trump has caught many around the world by surprise. Polls and experts did not see this coming. What are some of the factors that people missed along the way and that, in fact, in the end, propelled Donald Trump to victory?
Well, they missed the economic anger in the United States, people feeling left behind by globalization and trade agreements, who came out in full force for Donald Trump, whose message was tailor-made for them in places like Michigan and Wisconsin along the Canadian border, and even in Pennsylvania on the east coast of the United States. They came out in full force for a pro-isolationist message that this would not be a government that intervenes repeatedly in international conflicts, but that would staff up its military. And they came out in full force for Donald Trump because they did not trust Hillary Clinton.
Well, another issue that certainly came up a lot during the campaign was the issue of immigration. Donald Trump was rather outspoken regarding Mexicans, regarding the Muslim community. Of course, there is a strong African immigrant community in America too. Should these immigrant communities be concerned now that Trump is president?
Certainly the message of the Trump presidency to Muslim Americans or Muslim immigrants is that they are not necessarily welcome. These are policies that have been proposed by the president-elect that would ban Muslim immigration to this country. And so I think it's perfectly realistic for Muslim Americans and Muslim immigrants to the United States to look at what this new president-elect might mean to them. The message is one of legal immigration, not illegal immigration, and so we may see some moderation through the process of the president taking office and having to work with a Congress that is a little bit more moderate on some of these immigration issues. But nonetheless, it stands to reason that there would be extreme concern in the Muslim community and in the Muslim African American community in particular.
Jessica, we know, of course, that African leaders have been among those that have congratulated Donald Trump on his victory, but not many know at this stage what his foreign policy towards Africa will be like. Any idea of what we should expect from Donald Trump?
I think at a minimum you'll see a broad theme of less intervention. We haven't heard a lot of foreign policy specifics when it comes to the intricacies of Syria or Iran or Iraq. What we've heard from this president-elect is that he wants to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal, that he wants to pull out of intervention in places like Syria. And so I think you could be reasonable to expect that you'll see less military intervention, less humanitarian intervention under this administration. But this president-elect is also someone who has said that he wants to increase the U.S. military by 500,000 troops in the U.S. Army. And so we'll have to see what that looks like. Are those people he tries to put to use? Are those people he just tries to use as a deterrent?
Well, thanks very much for that analysis. Jessica Stern joining us there from Washington, D.C.